We're all taught the exact same formula for financial security. Get a stable job, live below your means, and put a chunk of your paycheck into a savings account every single month. But if you look at the wealthiest people on the planet, they treat cash entirely differently. The middle class obsesses over keeping and hoarding money, while top-tier billionaires are constantly trying to get rid of it. For most of us, that traditional savings mindset is driven by pure fear. We treat our bank accounts like a defensive wall, stacking up cash to protect ourselves from a sudden disaster, a medical bill, or a lost job. Meanwhile, ultra-successful entrepreneurs and mega-corporations deploy their capital with aggressive velocity. They don't save it, and they definitely don't hoard it. So why are we conditioned to stockpile our paychecks while the most successful entities on Earth are consistently emptying their accounts? By prioritizing safety above all else, we inadvertently cap our growth at the size of our savings account, long before we ever reach our full potential. Money operates a lot like kinetic energy. It only generates power when it's kept in continuous motion. If you let it sit still, it stagnates. Think of it like a pond. Without a fresh inlet and an outlet to keep the water flowing, a pond quickly becomes cloudy and toxic. When you hoard cash, you cut off that flow. The energy dies, opportunities are missed, and you're left operating out of financial anxiety instead of growth. Massive companies understand this circulation principle instinctively. They prioritize cash flow and relentless expansion over sitting on massive piles of static reserves. Look at Amazon. In its early days, the company famously lost money for 25 straight years. They weren't failing. Jeff Bezos was systematically reinvesting every available dollar straight back into the business, building out warehouses and infrastructure to guarantee massive scale, rather than declaring a profit to impress Wall Street. Coca-Cola applies this aggressive spending to private aircraft. They buy corporate jets, write off the depreciation, and trade them every 3 years. They use these planes as logistical tools to aggressively set up new headquarters and capture global attention. Mega corporations treat spending as a mechanism for expansion. Every dollar out is a calculated attempt to secure a larger share of the global market. You don't need to be a global conglomerate to use this kinetic energy principle. You can apply it directly to your own income right now. Let's look at a concept called advertising university. This involves taking a deliberate slice of your monthly paycheck, say a third of it, and redirecting it into direct marketing, lead generation, and customer outreach. You are taking static cash and trading it for high-volume market feedback. You buy ads, you see what clicks, and you rapidly acquire the actual skills needed to sell a product. When you force yourself through 10,000 cold calls or constant ad testing, the sheer volume of feedback forces you to adapt. You refine your pitch, you find the right audience, and you develop a level of skill that is impossible to acquire from a textbook. True wealth is never built by quietly tucking away a fraction of your salary. It happens when you actively convert your cash into high-leverage skills and real-world data. What stops most people from doing this is a deep-seated, paralyzing fear of running out of money. Overcoming that fear requires developing your money EQ, the emotional intelligence to understand how money flows, and the discipline to trust the cycle. High money EQ means you can comfortably let go of cash, knowing that if you deploy it strategically, it will return to you multiplied. When you shift your mindset, you change your family's entire legacy. You stop teaching your kids that money is a scarce survival tool, and you start showing them it's a magical wand they can use to create real value and help the people around them. Releasing the constant stress of financial survival frees up massive amounts of mental bandwidth. Instead of worrying about paying for a broken window, you have the energy to focus on true innovation, purpose, and living joyously. Ultimately, wealth is defined by the confident circulation of resources. Mastering this movement allows a person to expand their influence and their impact far beyond the balance of their bank account.